This video's purpose is to demonstrate what is involved in the American Pointing Labrador Association's Certified Pointing Retriever, or CPR, test. The number one question people seem to have is whether or not their dog is ready to run in CPR. If your dog points naturally and can hold that point for 5 seconds and is able to retrieve a bird to within one reasonable step of the handler, your dog probably has the skills to pass the test and earn the title Certified Pointing Retriever. We will not be going over the complete set of rules in this video, as our goal here is just to acquaint you with how the CPR will be run so you're not entirely unfamiliar with it the day of the test. The complete rules can be found on the APLA's website at www.americanpointinglab.com under Rules. First, all handlers in the field are expected to wear appropriate safety equipment. Secondly, no collars are allowed on the dogs while they are performing in any part of the test. A lead may be used around the dog's neck in CPR to steady for a mark when doing a water retrieve or a simulated land retrieve. The lead must be put out of sight when the dog returns from the retrieve to deliver the bird. A lead may also be used to walk your dog to the line or to exit the field when the test is complete. You may not touch your dog during the test. A light tap or touch of the head may be used to release your dog in the upland field, but otherwise, if you need to water your dog or check her for any injury, you must notify the judges before you do so. The purpose of the CPR test is to evaluate a combination of natural abilities and basic trained behaviors in the upland field and waterfowl retrieves. There is no minimum age for dogs to run in the CPR test. To score well in this test, the dog must respond to basic obedience commands, for example, come, heel, and sit, or to whistle commands, and have had enough exposure to hunting upland birds and water retrieves to show beginning proficiency in each. The CPR test has two parts, upland work and water retrieves. The dog is scored in 7 categories. These categories are nose, cooperation, desire, search, point, land retrieve, and water retrieve. First, we'll discuss the upland portion of the test. The upland field consists of 3 to 5 acres of light to medium cover. 3 chukar will be planted at random in the field. Before entering the field, you must indicate to the judges whether you want to put the birds up yourself, have the gunner do it, or send the dog in to flush the bird after the bird's appointed. You must also indicate whether you want any birds shot that the dog puts up without having pointed. At the start of the upland test, you will bring your dog to the line, either off-leash on a heel or on a slip lead. The judge will indicate the start of the test. You will remove the lead and put it out of sight, and you and your dog will have a maximum of 15 minutes to search the entire field for the 3 chukar. You determine the overall pattern of the search, so you are free to give commands and signals you normally would use when hunting with your dog, indicating where you want her to go if she's not searching in a desirable pattern. Try to stay close to your dog so you can be nearby when she goes on point. Your dog must clearly establish a natural point on her own prior to any type of verbal command or signal given by the handler. The dog must remain on point for a minimum of 5 seconds. Only after the judge has started the 5-second count may you give a quiet, non-intimidating, steadying command such as whoa. A bird must be produced from the point for the point to be scored. If your dog relocates, the 5-second count starts anew. Retrieves must be delivered efficiently and to within one reasonable step of the handler, but a higher score will be given to dogs delivering the bird to hand. A simulated retrieve may be done if the gunner fails to down a successfully pointed bird. After your dog has successfully pointed and retrieved a sufficient number of birds, you will place a slip lead around your dog and lead her off the field. Note that your dog does not necessarily have to find and point all 3 chukar, just enough birds to convince the judges that your dog is both a natural pointer and a retriever and demonstrates a good nose, desire, search, and cooperation. The water portion of the CPR test looks for retrieving desire and swimming ability as well as the efficiency of a reasonably direct line. The dog will be required to complete 2 single marked water retrieves, delivering on dry land to within one reasonable step of the handler. You and your dog will wait behind a screen until you are called to the line. You may restrain your dog by a slip lead as you walk to the line and wait for the judge to signal for the mark, which is a dead duck, to be thrown. You may speak to your dog in a non-intimidating fashion. sit, wait, or whatever phrase you use while waiting for the judge to signal for the retrieve. When the judge signals you to release your dog for the retrieve, your dog should enter the water in a reasonably direct line to the thrown duck. Bank running will downgrade your dog's score. Again, your dog must deliver the duck on dry land to within one reasonable step of the handler. When the first mark is completed, you may place the slip lead around your dog's neck and steady her for the second watermark, which will be thrown from a different location, but otherwise will be run exactly the same as the first one. When your dog completes both marks, the judge will instruct you to replace the lead around your dog's neck, and then you can exit the course. So if you've been working your dog on a check cord, dragging a check cord, or off leash, and if your dog can point naturally and hold it for just 5 seconds, and your dog will retrieve a bird to within one step of you, you and your dog are ready to enter the Certified Pointing Retriever Test.